now follows, one of the council says, oh no, he says it aside though, that you know, young Fortinbras, holding a weak supposal of our worth, Larity Johns, of thinking by our late dear brother's death our state to be disjoint and out of frame, colligered with the dream of his advantage. He hath not failed to pester us with message importing the surrender of those lands lost by his father, with all bands of law, to our most valiant brother. Laertes and Hamlet and one of the council yawn. So much for him. People begin to stir. Now for ourselves. One of the council looks up and is irritated and please no. And for this time of meeting, thus much the business is, we have here writ to Norway, uncle of young Fortinbras, who impotent and bedred, scarcely hears of this his nephew's purpose. Hamlet, Laertes to the council yawn. To suppress his further gate herein, in that the levies, the lists, and full proportions are all made out of his subject, and we here dispatch you, good Cornelius, and you, Voltman, for bearers of this greeting to old Norway, giving to you no further personal power to business with the king, more the scoop of these delated articles allow. While the king is giving these orders, the queen is very happy and proud and enjoying this really boring speech. The scope of these deleted articles allow, gives a paper. Farewell, and let your haste commend your duty. Queen clapping. Oh, very well put, my dear. Thank you, my queen. Then the two, Boltman and the other guy, Cornelius, say, with all this we will show our duty. And they walk off. Sure you will. Goodbye. Exit Boltman and Cornelius with looks of relief on their faces. And now, Laertes, what is the news with you? I would like to go to France, my lord. Have you your father's leave? What does Polonius think of this? Then Polonius says, I think it's fine. May he go? Of course, and thy best graces spend it all thy will. But now, my cousin Hamlet, and my son. Hamlet says, yeah, right. And the queen says, Ah, Hamlet, all that lives must die, passing from nature to eternity. And Hamlet says, oh, of course. Then the queen says, well, why does it seem so particular with you? Hamlet says, probably because it was my dad who died. Then the king says, it's sweet and commendable in your nature, Hamlet, to give these mourning duties to your father. But your father lost a father as his father before him. It is a sad thing to lose one's father, but that's the way things are. You know, you are the most immediate to our throne, and with no less mobility of love than that which dearest father bears his son do I impart toward you. The queen says, Hamlet, you would like to go to Wittenberg, but please stay here with us. And Hamlet says, I shall obey you, madam. And the king says, very well, it's settled. Come, madam, this gentle and unforced accord of Hamlet sits smiling to my heart in grace whereof no jocund health that Denmark drinks today. But the great cannon to the clouds shall tell, and the kings rouse the heaven shall brew it again, bespeaking earthly thunder. Come away. I couldn't have said it better myself, wondrous dear, says the queen. flourish, all exit except Hamlet. Then Hamlet, watching them leave, turns and says, "How he doth love his flowery speech. It's too bad God is against suicide. God, God, how weary, stale, flat, and stupid all the world seems to me. All that awaits us is just old age and death. For 2 months now, my dad, who truly loved my mother, is dead, and yet, in no time at all, she marries again. And with such dexterity to incestuous cheats, too. How absurd all this is. And I can't speak my mind about this to anyone either." Enter Horatio, Marcellus, and Bernardo. Horatio says, "Hail to your lordship." Hamlet says, "Hello, Horatio. I'm glad to see you well." "Yes, my lord, and your poor servant as always." Hamlet says, "I'll change that name with you, my good friend. So, Horatio and Marcellus, what brings you to Wittenberg?" Marcellus says, "My good lord." Then Hamlet says, "I know, I was trying to be funny." And he says to Bernardo, "I am very glad to see you too, Bernardo. So why are you here?" And then Horatio says, "A truant disposition." "Oh, sure. What is it really?" And Horatio says, "It's to do with your father's funeral." "Don't you mean my mother's wedding?" "Well, they both happened so close together, but the reason why we are here is because..." "Yes, speak." "I think we saw him last night." "Saw who?" "The king, your father, my lord." "The king, my father." "Yes. For heaven's sake, tell me what you saw." Then Horatio says, "For 2 nights Marcellus and Bernardo have encountered a figure like your father out in the dead waste during their nightly watch. 3 times it walked past their terror-filled faces, saying nothing to them. In dreadful secrecy, they said nothing about this to anyone. And when I was with them on watch for the 3rd night, last night, the apparition came, looking exactly like your father, and armed." "But where was this?" Then Marcel says, "Upon the platform where we watch." "Did you speak to it?" "I did, but it said nothing, yet it motioned as though it could. When the morning cock crew, it vanished." And says, "This is weird." Horatio then says, "Well, whatever it is, we saw it." This troubles me. Who stands watch tonight?" Then Marcellus and Bernardo say, "We do, my lord." And Hamlet says, "This thing is armed also?" Marcellus and Bernardo, "Yes." "And it really looked like him?" And Horatio says, "Very much so." "Well, if this thing walks again, I shall certainly be there to see it. On the platform I shall stand tonight." Then they say, "All our duty to your honor." And Hamlet says, "Your loves, says mine to yours, be seeing you." They said all but Hamlet. "My father's spirit, in arms. All is definitely not well. I can hardly wait for night." He exits. Music. Fade out. Fade up. Scene 3. Enter Laertes and Ophelia, his sister. Ophelia and Laertes, yeah. Laertes says, "Well, I shall be off." Then he says to Ophelia, "You will keep in touch with me, won't you?" Ophelia says, "You don't think I will?" There's Hamlet. Watch out for him." "Why?" "Well, with his greatness, he could use you and burn you. That's why." "Sure?" "Besides, he is too much into himself. I personally think he is a screw loose, if you ask me." "He seems very intelligent, though." "Intelligence can be a curse. Listen to me. Watch out for the man." "All right, I will. I wonder if I should fear you." "Now that is a silly question." Enter Polonius. "Well, I shall be off. My dad's coming. A double blessing is a double grace. Occasion smiles upon a second leave." Ophelia looks perplexed. "What?" Then Polonius says, "Still here, Laertes?" I was just about to leave, father." Polonius walks over and puts his hand on Laertes' head. Laertes says, "Look, I really have to be off." Then Polonius says, "There, my blessing with thee." "Thank you. Oh, and before you go, Laertes says aside, oh no, remember. Ophelia smiles to realize what is coming. Polonius says, keep thoughts to yourself, watch out for your acts, be familiar, but not vulgar, question your peers' desires, see that they don't get you into mischief, avoid confrontations, but if you find yourself in one, win it. You'll capture the respect of the one you beat and those around you. Okay. Listen to every man, but be slow to speak yourself. Don't be prejudiced. Oh, and be thrifty too. You don't want to run out of money buying rich and gaudy stuff, and my son, France is filled with things that are rich and gaudy. I see. Also, be neither a borrower or a lender. Being one of those can cause one to really lose friends quickly. I will definitely remember this, Dad. There's just one other thing that you must do. Yes? To your own self be true. Don't lie. Pause. Anything else, my father? Farewell. My blessed season in you. They hug. Your servants are waiting. Leave. Laertes breaks off from Polonius and hugs Ophelia. Farewell, Ophelia, and remember what I told you about brilliant Hamlet. Ophelia then says, it's locked away in my memory, and only you have the key to it. Goodbye. He leaves. Polonius then asks, what did Laertes tell you? Something strange about Hamlet. Like what? Well, for one thing, Hamlet loves me. Ha! Do you believe that? I don't know. What do you think? I don't know. My lord, he has importuned me with love in an honorable fashion. What? Given countenance to a speech with almost all the holy vows of heaven. I don't trust Hamlet, my dear. From what I have witnessed of him, I believe he is just infatuated with your beauty, as are a lot of men. If I were you, I would stay away from him. He is an excellent talker and might get you under his power. You know, the more I think of it, the more I think you should stay away from him. I shall obey, my lord. They exit. Music comes on, fade out. Scene 4, fade up. Hamlet, Horatio, and Marcellus are standing watch. It's dark and dreary and all that stuff. Hamlet says, "Brr, it's cold." Horatio then says, "Quite. I wish it would hurry up and show itself." And Hamlet says, "Anyone know what time it is?" Horatio, "I think it's around 12. And Marcel says, "It already struck." "Really? I didn't hear it." "In that case, we are getting very close to the time the spirit walks." A flourish of trumpets is heard, and 2 pieces go off within. Horatio then says, What is that for?" The king says, and then Hamlet says, "The king is waking up to take his drink. It's the triumph of his pledge." Horatio says, "Is it a custom?" "Well, to my mind, being that I'm a native here, it is a custom more honored in the breach than in the observance." "What do you mean?" asked Marcellus. This heavy-headed... Suddenly, Horatio breaks in saying, "Hamlet, I heard something." "Where?" "Over. Look, my lord, it's coming." "Angels protect us," says Hamlet. Hamlet stands guard and with his sword pointing at the ghost. "Man, it's true. It looks just like him. But is it he? Or an evil spirit come here to destroy me? And why me if it is? What are you? Are you my father?" The ghost beckons for Hamlet. Horatio says, "It seems to want you